Hi, Leo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your January 2025 Astro Update. It's Raina here. I'm recording this in December. Well, obviously, if you're listening in December, you know I'm not recording it in January. And I might say a few things that are occurring that haven't occurred yet. So I'm not going to pretend that, it's January. I don't do things like that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just like to keep it real. So, as I'm recording this, Leo, you have Mars retrograding in your sign. And you're going to have Mars go back to Cancer on the 6th of the month. And so this is going to be your 12th house. So you're going to have Mars go from your first to your 12th house. What is this? What can this look like? Well, I think one thing for Leo individuals is that this can be about how you put yourself out there, because we know that Leo ascendant, or if you're listening for your sun sign, that you are extroverted. And even if you have Leo rising and your sun is in Cancer, or a sign like Virgo that's kind of milquetoast or nondescript, and you have Leo rising, you're going to be quite flamboyant on some level. As a matter of fact, Freddie Mercury was a Virgo. That's why he called himself. Oh no, wait a second though. His rising sign wasn't Leo. His rising sign. I was trying to see if Freddie Mercury was a Leo rising, and it was really bizarre because not only wasn't he he was a Virgo, but I think he had Virgo rising. That's why he called himself Freddie Mercury, because he was ruled by Mercury. That's he had Virgo rising, and he had the sun in the 12th house. Really strange stuff, because he was very bombastic on stage. Maybe he was very shy off stage. I don't know, but that was a not good example. Anyway, you know what you are, and that can, to me, Mars is our motivation. Like, what is it that gets us to do what we do? And so this is an exploration when Mars goes retrograde, and there could be life events that accompany this that kind of force you to look at how you put yourself out there, because the first house is how you behave in the company of others, and your style, your appearance, your body, your mannerisms. And Leo is a sign that can suck the oxygen out of the room and be very, look at me. And I'm not saying in a pathetic way. I'm saying just like it's like breathing for you to be on, or to be like, if you're a natural performer, even if you're not performing, if you're, if they said that Paul McCartney, who has the moon in Leo, that he would just like, he was with John Lennon. He just saw a piano, and he couldn't help himself. He had to sit down at that piano and start playing, because the performer in him was just so strong. And people can judge that as, oh, this person's really insecure, psychoanalyze it. But I really think that it's the creative principle that is oozing out of that person, because that's the creative self-expression is the fifth house that Leo rules in astrology. So it just comes natural to Leos to be like this. So anyway, Mars on the 6th is going back into Cancer, into that 12th house. And this can be at a deeper level, and maybe even like a subconscious or unconscious level. How do you trip yourself up? How do you self-destruct? What are your habits? You could say even, what are your compulsions? That's what habits are. what compels you to do certain things that are not in your best interest. These are the things you're going to be exploring until Mars goes direct on the 23rd or 24th of February. And then you will have done enough self-inquiry that you can make choices based on your added information. Let me start at the beginning. On the 2nd, Venus goes into Pisces. For Leo individuals, this is your 8th house. This is the house of other people's money. Venus rules the 2nd house of your money. And so these two, I was going to say influences collide. And this could really be a money transit in the next few weeks. Now, it can also be, if you are coupled, that you are going to build your intimacy. You're going to deepen it. And that would be good too, obviously. But even your partner, their money could be affected in a positive way. So maybe they get the raise and you benefit indirectly, but you still benefit from it. On the 3rd, Mercury comes out of its shadow. And this is the Mercury retrograde that we just recently went through was all in the sign of Sagittarius. For Leos, this is your 5th house, which is the house that you rule in astrology, which is about love and creativity. Mercury retrograde in the 5th can mean hearing from somebody from your past. So did that happen, Leo? And what came of that if it did happen? Because hearing from someone doesn't really mean much of anything. It all depends on, what was said and if you believe what was said. But yeah, that could have been, anytime there's a Mercury retrograde, we can hear from people from our past, but in the 5th house, it could be old lovers that you hear from. It can also be about rewriting something, maybe if you are a poet or I would say more like a performance poet, but somebody who's in the theater, definitely a Leo type of thing. Even if it's, the 5th house can be your hobbies, so you might have gone back to something that had a literary connection to it with Mercury. Or rethinking some kind of creative project that involves, maybe having to rewrite something, for instance. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. Also, because this is the house of love, it can be about reframing love. And same with somebody that you think that you love. Do I love this person? Really pondering this question. So now Mercury's out of its shadow, and you're going to find that Mercury just zips into the 2 other signs in this month. As a matter of fact, on the 8th, Mercury goes into Capricorn. And this is your 6th house of health and work. Mercury rules this house in astrology under the sign of Virgo, a fellow, I was going to say fellow Earth sign, fellow Earth sign compared to to what it is in your chart, which is in Capricorn, but not fellow to you. But anyway, this could make you researching something health-wise. This could be, maybe you're reading books, buying books about health. In terms of work, you could be talking to potential employers. You could be negotiating a raise or your working conditions, for instance. That could be what's going on. There's some kind of thought or communication around the subject of employment. Now, this is the house of your daily routine, so you may be putting energy, mental energy into this area. And there could be many reasons for that. One potential reason, let's say you want to get more training and you're like, well, how can I utilize my time so that I can work my 9 to 5 job and yet have time to study for a master's degree in X or Y field? Whatever it is, it could be anything. And you might be really kind of doing that, the mental gymnastics to figure out how you're going to do all of that. On the 13th, we have a full moon at 24 degrees of Cancer. This is your 12th house, Leo. Wow. Just wow. This could be, closure about something. This is very emotional because not only is it a water sign full moon, which heightens the emotions. It's funny, when I said full moon, it was at 11:11 in the recording. But it also is in a water house for you because the 12th house is Pisces domain. So you could feel that something is ending in your life, and it could feel very, you could feel very sentimental about it, like you're going to miss it. This is going to, your intuition or your psychic ability can skyrocket at this time because the 12th house is psychic, because of Pisces, but also because the 12th house is the dream state. So you may have a prophetic dream, for instance. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but I don't know if that's your eyes peeled. Maybe it's your third eye peeled. Keep your third eye peeled for that. On the 19th, the sun goes into Aquarius. Then we have on the 27th, which is 8 days later, Mercury goes into Aquarius. On the 29th, we have a new moon in Aquarius at 9 degrees of Aquarius. So that is all crowding into your opposite house, Leo, the house of committed partnership. And this means that this is going to become a focal point for you. And with the new moon here in particular, there could be new beginnings in relationship matters. And that can run the gamut. I think I even had a client who had this after having just gotten divorced. So the 7th house is the house of legal affairs. So, of course, that could be represented with that, but also connected to the status of a relationship. So divorce is a status. That is part of the story of the relationship when a person uncouples. And on the 30th, but I don't want to leave it there like saying, oh yeah, you're going to, break up with your partner. No, of course not. As a matter of fact, there might be some Leos who take the plunge, who say, okay, let's get married. Okay, let's move in together, because not that you will do it in that moment, but that you let go of the resistance to it. Leo is a romantic sign, but you're also a fire sign. So your independence is highly coveted. On the 30th, Uranus turns direct at 23 degrees of Taurus. Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius, so it has that connection that way. And in Taurus, this is a fellow fixed sign. We're talking about your 10th house of career. Oh my gosh. Why do I feel like there's all these people who have Uranus in the 10th house, and it doesn't make sense to me? I don't know if they all have Leo rising, but they must. So Uranus in the 10th can be about may have already done its magic, if you want to call it that, because Uranus has been in Taurus, I believe, since 2018 ish. So now it's in its seventh year. And it really, for in the 10th house, it may have made, if you've been in the same career, you may have seen some plot twists with your career. Maybe it has changed dramatically in those years, or maybe you're in a totally different field because your field was eliminated. It was, there are so many possibilities: automated, eliminated. Technology can make certain types of work that people are doing obsolete, or it just changes how they're doing it. For some of you, you may be working remotely because Uranus is connected to technology, and this could be how this has been affecting you, or impacting your career sector. But it also relates to the type of work that people are doing. So Uranus, to me, can be energy healing, astrology, anything intuitive, anything off the beaten path, because it's really about embracing your inner freak, meaning that you stop caring what other people think of you. Your 10th house is your legacy, or your public reputation and things like that. When Uranus is here, you don't want to conform to other people's how they do things. You want to be your own person, but sometimes that can mean that it alienates other people because they're like, what has gone into him or her that they're doing life this way, that their career has taken this particular turn. They don't understand it. They don't understand you. And if you understand you, that's all that truly matters. This can make you want to be free from the mold of whatever it is that we associate with career. So it could even be, even though this is not the house of your daily schedule, I still think that it could relate to that, where you might not want to work every day 9 to 5. Maybe you want a varied schedule and that kind of thing. Obviously, if you work for yourself, you can do it your own way. But I feel that when Uranus enters your first house, then it's going to indicate that you want this kind of, varied schedule, unpredictable schedule, anything that is different from what you might currently have. So that's what I have for you, Leo. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, I'm promoting my double readings. Actually, I'm just going to talk about the most popular one, which is my deep dive reading. It's actually a package deal. It's an hour of natal chart analysis and an hour of transits for 2025 for a special price. And then I have the single readings at the regular price. And so you save if you're buying two. I have all kinds of readings, love, career. You can find out more information at the link below. Thanks for listening. Bye.